Man, what a game. This one definitely felt personal, obviously for Luka Doncic, after being traded by the Mavericks and really in a terrible fashion and having bad blood between them after that. It felt personal for him. Even prior to the game starting, he had been eyeing down the Mavericks bench unit and their sideline, probably trying to get a glimpse over at Nico Harrison and get some bad eye contact. And then during the first quarter, anytime he made a shot or made a good play out there, immediately looked toward and kind of pointed toward the Mavs bench unit. Again, probably at Nico Harrison, trying to rile them up and definitely trying to hype himself up too. And by the first quarter, I thought, and many people thought, he'd probably drop 40 in this game. Ended up having a rough shooting night, and primarily from the Mavs trying to stop him and contain him, not trying to let him get going, and obviously for good reason too. He did end the first quarter with 12 points, but only ended the game with 19 points, albeit a 19-point triple-double, tacking on 15 rebounds and 12 assists go with it. Only 2 turnovers, and not to mention playing good defense, but they were able to largely contain him in regard to points. And then from the other side of that, the Lakers had a really hard time with Kyrie Irving. I mean, good luck trying to stop Kyrie Irving when he gets it going. The guy had 35 points, and by the time he had 20 points and they tried different defensive coverage against him, it was simply too late. It didn't matter if they double teamed him, blitzed him, tried to trap him. It didn't matter at that point. Kyrie had it going, knocking down incredibly tough shots, whether they be fadeaway mid-range shots, some ridiculous layups at the rim, fadeaway 3-point shots, it really didn't matter. And then between him and Klay Thompson, the guy kind of reverted back to Golden State Klay Thompson, knocking down some crazy 3-point shots of his own. They made a great game out of this one, a really back and forth affair, especially during the second half. This one felt like it could have gone either way, but luckily the Lakers were able to pull it out, not only from Luka Doncic in that 19-point triple-double, but then of course with LeBron James having a great fourth quarter and kind of taking over during the fourth quarter, ending with 27 points on some very good efficiency, about 65% from the field and 50% from 3, not to mention some big rebounds during the fourth quarter, keeping the ball alive for their team, a couple of putbacks, and kind of making an impact while playing off the ball rather than on the ball, and letting more Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves do more of that. Between the three of them, they actually combined for 76 points in this one, with LeBron leading them with 27 again, Austin having 20, and Luka Doncic having 19. So that trio is really working out well for them, being incredibly tough to defend, even with Luka Doncic going 35% from the field. I mean, when's the last time Luka probably won a game shooting like that? Not very often, and definitely not having guys like LeBron and Austin that can pick it up for him. And yet, that's exactly what happened tonight. Apart from that though, definitely more to talk about here, and not only those three alone, as the Lakers team defense was really good, apart from trying to stop Kyrie Irving, which you really can't do when he gets it going like that. They played great defense and ended up limiting the Mavericks to only 35% from the field, albeit on 39% 3-point shooting, but largely containing everyone not named Kyrie Irving, and Klay Thompson here and there as well. Limiting Max Christie, him returning to LA shooting only 31%. Love Max, and he's going to be a great player, but they did largely contain him tonight. Rui even getting an emphatic block on him and shouting at him in response. Kind of a friendly teammate or now former teammate exchange. They were definitely trying to lock up Max and him going back and forth with them as well. The Lakers defense definitely won that battle tonight. You know, maybe not in the long run, I definitely think and hope Christie will have a very long and good NBA career, as I think he definitely will, and it won't take long for him to get there. After Christie though, they limited a guy like PJ Washington, going 0 for 9 from the field and putting up a donut, 0 points. Then with guys like Dinwiddie going 3 for 8, Exum going 3 for 9, Najee Marshall off the bench 2 for 7. Again, the Lakers defense really came through in this one, and definitely did need to as well. With them having a rare bad 3-point shooting night, only going 11 of 40 from beyond the arc, 27.5%, they did need to make it up on defense, and between that and rebounding, actually out-rebounding the Mavericks 64-54, a 10 rebound differential. They did give up too many offensive rebounds, and we do gotta point that out as well. Gave them way too many possessions, and if you're giving up 5 offensive rebounds to Klay Thompson, definitely something wrong with that. A little bit of boxing out problems during the first half into the third quarter, that's something I'd complain about. But overall, good defense, and for the most part, they did win the rebound battle and the defensive battle as well. Overall though, Luka Doncic did get his revenge tonight. Maybe not the way he wanted to, and maybe not dropping the 40 points that he was probably looking for. It definitely seemed that way during the first quarter, but he did get his revenge with a win, and that's ultimately what matters. Now I definitely wish that Anthony Davis played tonight. That would have made it even more fun and a lot more tense at that, but hopefully and eventually they will meet. I mean, it might be awkward if they meet come playoff time, but hey, I'd be open to it and that definitely would be a fun matchup. With all of that being said though, I'll let you hear what JJ Redick had to say about it, how Luka Doncic played tonight, and how they can carry this momentum going forward.
Luka, how did you just handle the emotions of the day playing against your former team?
I don't know, honestly. I don't know. It's just so weird, the moments. I felt like I don't know what I was doing. And I'm glad we got the win.
The last 5+ minutes, you and LeBron, there's a lot of different interactions on the court, and you finding him and vice versa. What was that like for you, and how are you starting to develop this chemistry so soon?
Yeah, JJ said in timeout, let's get organized. And once we get organized on offense, we got a lot of weapons. So that was really big, and he's doing that at 40 years old, which is insane. The takeover in fourth quarter was unbelievable to watch.
Luke, I want to ask you about a specific sequence with LeBron in the fourth. After Clay had hit the three to tie it, you're posting up Christie, you pass it back out to the three to LeBron. LeBron throws it back into you to repost. Eventually, you find him open and he hits the three. But just what was that kind of interaction like there for you?
I think I talk a lot about patience. I think that was one of the best examples about patience. We kind of went back and forth. We expected the doubles, so we just think patience.
Luka, JJ's talked about the blackout episodes, and midway through the first quarter, you hit those back-to-back threes that they take one away, but you kind of turn and
how is that even possible?
you turned and let out that roar, and it seemed like you were kind of hyping yourself up.
I can't even explain it. It was a different game. Like I said, sometimes I don't know what I was doing, and I'm just glad it's over, honestly.
Luka, obviously the emotions and stuff from the trade and the 7 years you've spent in Dallas aren't going to be undone in a night. But does playing them and being able to kind of put at least a tiny bow on it, does that help you? Or do you think that will help you as you move ahead now that this is out of the way?
Yeah, definitely will help me. I think, especially like I said, I'm glad this game is over. And just a little bit, like you said, it's definitely going to help in the long process.
Finally got 3 people down the floor, corners filled. We kept going to empty side stuff, wasn't working. Just got spaced, and we got to our proper matchups and all that stuff. I mean, we created good offense at different points in the game when we did that. When we didn't get good offense. But I think overall, again, Bron just kind of took over that game and felt like he was making a lot of plays with the ball and made some plays that don't show up on box score. And our guys' defense that last 5.5 minutes to hold them to 8 points. Our guys were just scrambling everywhere, and Bron was sort of at the head of that. Made a little adjustment in that timeout with Luka's coverage, just put him in a drop, and just a little curveball, and thought we did a good job with that. And then, we don't win the game if Bron doesn't take over. And we don't win the game if Doe doesn't make 3 massive plays. Again, another one that won't show up on a box score, but Luka drives against the switch. He sets the Gortat screen. Luka gets the layup. He finally gets an actual dunk on the tip dunk, and not just touching the rim while he puts the ball through. And then the back tap steal on Kyrie that led to a Rui basket. So I just thought, he led the charge down the stretch of just making winning basketball plays.
JJ, how do you feel like Luka handled the emotions of tonight?
I thought he handled it well. Not a great shooting night, but made a lot of plays and had some good defensive plays as well. I just thought, he clearly was worked up to start the game. That's to be expected. But I thought he settled in. But I think some of the stuff with our offensive shooting woes was due to some organization problems and some spacing problems, and that affected everybody, and that affected him as well.